Namaste, pranams to everyone. A very warm welcome to this session of Sri Lalita Sahasranama Stotram chanting. Let us start with Guru Vandanam. Gururev gatir gurumeva bhaje Gurunaiva sahasmi namo gurave Na gurof paramam shishurasmi guroho Matirasti gurau mama pahi guru. Let us do the dhyanam. Let us meditate before we start the dhyanam for a few seconds. Dhyanam. Sindhuraruna trinayanam Manikya-maulispurat Taranayakashekharam Smitamukhimapinavakshoruham Panibhyamalipurnaratnachashakam Raktotpalam biphratim Saumyam Ratnaghatastha-raktacharanam Dhyayet Paramambikam Arunam Karunatarangitakshim Dhritapashankusha-pushpa-bana-chapam Animadibhiravritam Mayukhaihi Ahamityeva vibhavaye Bhavani Dhyayet padmasanastham vikasitavadanam Padmapatrayaktakshim Hemabham pitavastram karakalitalsat dhema padmam varangim sarvalankara-yuktam satatamabhayadam bhaktanamram bhavani Shri Vidyam Shantamurtim Sakala Suranutam Sarvasampat Pradatri Sakunkuma Vilepanamalica Chumbikasturikam Samandahasite Kshanam Sasharachapapashankusham Ashesha-janamohini marunamalya bhushambaram Japa-kusuma-bhasuran Japa-vidhau Smaredambikam Shri-matre namaha. Let us chant the first 5 verses together. While on mute, I request all of you to chant along with me the first 5 verses, and then I will move on to the new verses which we learnt in the last 2 classes, a quick revision, and then we will do the meaning. Shri-matre namaha. Shri-mata Shri-maharagni Shri-mat-simhasaneshwari Chidagni-kunda-sambhuta Devakarya-samudyata उद्यद्भानुसहस्राभा चतुर्बाहुसमन्विता रागस्वरूपपाषाढ्या क्रोधाकाराङ्कुशोज्ज्वला मनोरूपेक्षुकोदण्डा पञ्चतन्मात्रसायका निजारुणप्रभापूरमज्जद् ब्रह्माण्डमण्डला चम्पकाशोकपुन्नागसौगन्धिकलसत्कचा कुरुविन्दमणिश्रेणी कनत्कोटीरमण्डिता अष्टमी चन्द्रविभ्राजदलिकस्थलशोभिता मुखचन्द्रकलङ्काभमृगनाभिविशेषका. Let us move to the verse number 181. So I will chant this once. I request you to chant twice after me, and the next verse try. So the way we do it in every class. So let me chant this verse completely. अभ्यासातिशयज्ञाता षडध्वातीतरूपिणी अव्याजकरुणामूर्तिरज्ञानध्वान्तदीपिका. I'll chant once again. अभ्यासातिशयज्ञाता षडध्वातीतरूपिणी अव्याजकरुणामूर्तिरज्ञानध्वान्तदीपिका.
अभ्यासातिशयज्ञाता षडध्वातीतरूपिणी अव्याजकरुणामूर्तिरज्ञानध्वान्तदीपिका.
Once again.
अभ्यासातिशयज्ञाता षडध्वातीतरूपिणी अव्याजकरुणामूर्तिरज्ञानध्वान्तदीपिका.
आबालगोपविदिता सर्वानुल्लङ्घ्य शासना श्रीचक्रराजनिलया श्रीमत्त्रिपुरसुन्दरी आबालगोपविदिता सर्वानुल्लङ्घ्य शासना श्रीचक्रराजनिलया श्रीमत्त्रिपुरसुन्दरी
आबालगोपविदिता सर्वानुल्लङ्घ्य शासना श्रीचक्रराजनिलया श्रीमत्त्रिपुरसुन्दरी आबालगोपविदिता सर्वानुल्लङ्घ्य शासना श्रीचक्रराजनिलया श्रीमत्त्रिपुरसुन्दरी.
This was taught in the last class, right? So the last was 183. Shri Shiva Shivashaktyaikyarupini Lalitambika Yevam Shri Lalita Devya Namnam Sahasrakanjaguhu. Shri Shiva Shivashaktyaikyarupini Lalitambika एवं श्रीललिता देव्या नाम्नां साहस्रकञ्जगुः
श्रीशिवा शिवशक्त्यैक्यरूपिणी ललिताम्बिका एवं श्रीललिता देव्या नाम्नां साहस्रकञ्जगुः श्रीशिवा शिवशक्त्यैक्यरूपिणी ललिताम्बिका एवं श्रीललिता देव्या नाम्नां साहस्रकञ्जगुः.
Tamam. So we will quickly try to understand the meanings of the verses 181 onwards. I'll chant once and then I will talk about the artha, the meaning. अभ्यासातिशयज्ञाता षडध्वातीतरूपिणी अव्याजकरुणामूर्तिरज्ञानध्वान्तदीपिका अभ्यासातिशयज्ञाता अभ्यासात् Abhyasatishaya Gnata, one who is known through what? Abhyasatishaya. So, Atishaya, in, with greatly understood, or who is not, who can be known through Abhyasa. What kind of Abhyasa? Consistent, constant Abhyasa, the constant practice. So, is this practice itself is enough? No, it has to be with devotion. So, Abhyasatishaya Jnata, so Atishaya Abhyasa, so with constant devotion, constant practice, constantly contemplating, meditating upon Devi, she can be known. Abhyasatishaya Jnata. Shadadhvatita Rupini. So, Shadadhva, Shat means six. So, Shadadhvatita Rupini means one who is in the form, that form is transcending six methods. So, what are those forms or what are those methods is Varnatva, we call it as, which is related to letters, Padatva, which is related to words, Mantratva, which is related to the mantraksharas, mantras, Kalatva, so kalas, different kalas in Devi's worship. Tattva, that is Tattvatva, that is related to different tattvas, which we have also spoken in the previous classes. Bhuvatva, which is related to different bhuvanas or different worlds. So these are the different, which is like basically the six modes of devotion or six methods, we can call it as. She's transcending all this. She's beyond all this. So that is why she is called as Shadadhvatita Rupini. Avyaja Karuna Murti Rajnana Dhvanta Deepika. Avyaja Karuna Murti. She is a form, she is a Karuna Murti, compassionate, utmost compassionate, utmost kind hearted, always doing the anugraha for the devotees out of compassion. She is that kind of a Karuna Murti. We know in the Dhyana Shloka also, Arunang Karuna Tarangi Takshim, right? So, but here we are actually talking about that compassion, that karuna, which is without any vyaja, without any avyaja means without any vyaja, that is without any partiality, without any reason, without any excuse, avyaja karuna murtihi. So, without any bias about anything, without any partiality, without any uh, reasons, there is no vyaja. So, Avyaja Karuna Murti, she is that utmost form of compassionate Karuna Murtihi. Karunamruta Sagara. Ajnana Dhvanta Deepika. Ajnana Dhwanta Deepika. Deepika means she is that Deepika, she is that lamp, she is that light, which is dispelling or removing the darkness. What kind of darkness is that? It is the darkness of Ajnana, that is ignorance. Ajnana Dhwanta Deepika. So that Ajnana, the darkness of ignorance that we have, that Ajnana that we have, she is the one who can dispel that darkness. So she is that one who is that Deepika, that light that completely removes the darkness of ignorance in us. So Ajnana Deepika. Let us look at the next line. Abalagopavidita sarvanullangya shasana Shri Chakrarajanilaya Shrimat Tripura Sundari Abalagopavidita. So, Vidita means one who is known by who all? Abala Gopa. Abala means from children, small children. Starting from Bala means children. So, Abala here means starting even from small children to children too. And of course, the Gopa Vidita. Gopa here is the cowherds. So, when we refer to the word Gopa here, it can also be interpreted as laymen, the people like us who do not have much knowledge. So she is known to everyone who comes to her with devotion, and that is the bhakti. So she is known as Abala Gopa Vidita, known to everyone. So means focusing on her with bhakti, she can be understood, she can be reached, easily accessed by everyone. So she is Abala Gopa Vidita. So here the other way to interpret this is Abala here can also be referred to the children. Balagopa can be Krishna, and of course Abalagopa and the protector Gopa, who is a protector, that is the Sadashiva. So she is known to everyone, starting from children to Shiva to Vishnu to Brahma. So she is known to everyone. So Abala Gopa Vidita. Sarvan Ullanghya Shasana. Sarvan Ullanghya Shasana means her commands are never disobeyed. They are never to be disobeyed. Whose commands are not disobeyed by anyone. So all the Devanu Devata, Sarvan Ullanghya Shasana. So she is never disobeyed. So Sarva Anullanghya Shasana, if you split this, Sarvanullanghya Shasana. So which means that her commands, her orders are never disobeyed. That means she is that Maharajni. So in that first three names, you have uh, the are so powerful. Her her the Shakti of the creation, protection, and destruction is all seen in the first three names of the Sahasranama: Srimata, Sri Maharagni, Srimat Simhasan, Neshwari. So, Sarvan Ullanghya Shasana here means her commands are never disobeyed. She is the Shasana, she is the ruler, supreme ruler, Maharagni. Shri Chakra Raja Nilaya, Shri Chakra Rajanilya, whose abode is the Shri Chakra. She is presiding in the Shri Chakra, that royal Shri Chakra. So she is the Shri Chakra Raja Nilaya. So the Shri Chakra is considered as the unison of Shiva and Devi, like the way the Jiva resides in the body. So Shiva Shakti is in Shri Chakra Raja. So she is that one who is residing in the Sri Chakra, Sri Chakra Raja Nilaya. Srimat Tripura Sundari. Srimat Tripura Sundari. So she is that Srimat means that wealth. Srimat means the greatness. So she is that divine. Srimat means divine. So Srimat Tripura Sundari, that divine Tripura Sundari. Shiva is known as Tripura Sundara, Parashiva. She is she is the consort of Tripura Sundara, that is Parameshwara, Parashiva. So she is Srimat Tripura Sundari. Um, she is also in the form of this Tripura Sundari. She is the presiding deity of the chakra, the third chakra, the third prastara, we can say. So she is Srimat Tripura Sundari. So there has been a question from one of the questions I received because we said that the no name of Devi is repeated in Sahasranama, but there is this Tripura Sundari name which is coming twice. So just to address that question, we have come across this is, please note down, this is Srimat Tripura Sundari. In the, I think it was in the 57th verse of Lalita Sahasranama, you come across the name Maheshwara Mahakalpa Mahatandava Sakshini Mahakamesha Mahishi Mahatripura Sundari, right? So, some of you have asked this question. So, there is also Mahatripura Sundari, and we also have Srimat Tripura Sundari. Tripura Sundari name is repeating. So, just wanted to draw your attention that there it is Maha Tripura Sundari and here it is Srimat Tripura Sundari. The prefix, adding a prefix would change the understanding or the meaning here. So in case of the previous Maha Tripura Sundari, what it meant was the great Tripura Sundari. So you cannot see a Tripura Sundari, the divine beauty like Devi, in all the three worlds. Okay, so that is that is Mahatripura Sundari, which we come across in the name in the verse 57, that is Maheshwara Mahakalpa Mahatandava Sakshini Mahakamesha Mahishi Mahatripura Sundari. So also it is like interpreted in a way where here that in that particular name Mahatripura Sundari, so she is that divine knowledge or base or the root cause of all the knowledge, and you cannot find that kind of a Tripura Sundari in three worlds. So Maha Tripura Sundari, the divine Tripura Sundari. So coming back to Srimat Tripura Sundari, so here it Srimat, the word Srimat means a divine or one who has the divine wealth, we can say. So Srimat Tripura Sundari, here we are directly referring to divine Tripura Sundari, who is the wife of Tripura Sundara, that is the Parameshwara. So this is Srimat Tripura Sundari. So the names here are two different names itself, and as you see, the names are not repeated in Lalita Sahasranama. So let's go to the next verse. Shri Shiva Shiva Shaktyaikyarupini Lalitambika Yevam Shri Lalita Devya Nam Nam Sahasra Kanjaguhu. So Shri Shiva, so again the divine consort of Shiva, wife of Sadashiva, Shri Shiva. Shiva, if you see, it is a Digakshara. Shiva means Lalita Devi. So Shri Shiva, divine Shiva, she is, and also the Devi Parameshwari of Parameshwara. Shiva Shaktyaikyā Rupini. Shiva Shaktyaikyā Rupini, one who is the unified form of Shiva and Shakti. So Shiva and Shakti, this is that supreme equality, supreme union. So Shiva Shaktyaikyā Rupini, one who is in the form of that union of Shiva and Shakti. Shri Shiva, divine Shiva, who is the blessed, we can say Shiva, Shri Shiva. Shiva Shaktyaikyā Rupini, the union, the supreme union of Shiva and Shakti. So Shivasya Sahaja Shiva, it is told. It is so natural, their union is so supreme that it is said Shivasya Sahaja Shiva. So Shiva and Shakti, the unison Shiva and Shakti, and is the supreme union. Then we have Lalitambika, the last name we have Lalitambika, Ambika, we all know it is mother, universal divine mother Ambika, who is Lalita, Lalitambika. This is the last name in Lalita Sahasranamam. Devi has innumerable, countless names, right? So, and in that, if you see, this Sahasranama is named as Sri Lalita Sahasranama. However, we came across this name Lalita at the end of the Sahasranama. So, Sri Shiva, Shiva Shakti Rupini Lalitambika. So, it is a very um, befitting name which is at the end of the Sahasranama as composed by Vashinyadi Vagdevatas. So, um, it could be that it's such an important name that it is being placed in the end, the closing part of the Sahasranama. However, Devi has countless names. So, she is the mother, that universal divine mother. Lalita. Lalita means something which is, very, very easily, playfully, very easily, who can be accessed easily. Though she is that supreme Brahman who's in the form of that Brahman, and can be attained through different methods. We have come across the names Bhakti Vashya, Bhakti Gamya, right, Jnana Gamya, etc. Different kinds of worships are there, like we came across Kaula Mark, etc. However, she can be easily accessed as a mother. So that is why the name Lalitambika. So if you remember the first name, we started the beginning of Lalita Sahasranamam. Immediately after Hayagriva Uvacha, we said Shri Mata, right? Shri Mata, Divine Mother. And the ending, Lalitambika, Divine Mother. So started with mother, ended with mother, Shri Mata and Ambika, which means, like I said earlier, who can be easily accessed when we are have that devotion to her as the supreme divine mother. So this is Lalitambika. Evam, like this. Evam means thus, like this. Shri Lalita Devya Namnam Sahasrakam Jaguhu. So the names of Lalita Devi has been told. Sahasrakam, the 1,000 names of Lalita Devi has been told in the Lalitopakhana in Brahmanda Purana. So the Sahasranama, the names ends with Lalitambika, and the last line is to say that this is how it is told in the Devi's names are told. As I was telling earlier, in Lalita Sahasranamam, every name is unique. There is no duplication. And you might have also seen there are no words like, we don't come across the words like cha, yeva, vai, etc., which is generally used in some of the shlokas which we would have come across. So each name is very unique, very beautiful, and very meaningful. And the names begin with, all the names use out of the entire Varnamala, 32 letters are used. Blemishless letters, we can say, pure letters are used in the Sahasranama. The names are beginning with those 32 letters only. You can observe, you can note down and see the letters, count the letters also. So this Sahasranama, as I was emphasizing in the first class, is something which we can learn only if we have the blessings of Devi, Bhagavati. So if we all have come to this stage where we have learned, we have attended these sessions together, we all have learned, which is only due to the Krupa of Bhagavati Sri Devi. So as you remember that we discussed about the name in the previous Stotra Priya, right? One who is fond of the Stotras. So Devi is easily pleased by chanting her names with bhakti. So that is what is required from all of us. So here we complete the learning. However, we have 2 more classes left. Next class will be mostly the practice class for all the attendees. And the last class would be on 17th. You would get a confirmation mail on this from on your email ID from Vyoma email, confirming the timings and the date. And in the last class, there will be Guru or Acharya who would be presiding the session and who would be addressing few words to all of us. So I request all of you, it's a valedictory class, it's a closing class, all of you to be present for the next two classes without missing. Next class will be practice and the last class will be a valedictory, a closing session. It's a very important class. Please do not miss on that day once you get a confirmatory mail from the Vyoma team. So there is this last line. I will just teach this. Iti Shri Brahmanda Purane Uttarakhande
इति श्रीब्रह्माण्डपुराणे उत्तरखण्डे इति
Shri. Go ahead.
इति श्रीब्रह्माण्डपुराणे उत्तरखण्डे
Shri Hayagrivagasthya Samvade
श्रीहयग्रीवागस्त्यसंवादे श्रीहयग्रीवागस्त्यसंवादे
Shri Lalita Sahasranama Stotram Sampurnam
श्रीललिता सहस्रनामस्तोत्रकथनं सम्पूर्णम् श्रीललिता सहस्रनामस्तोत्रकथनं सम्पूर्णम्
Iti Shri, issue is there? Issue, I request you to chant now. Iti Shri Brahmanda Purane Uttarakhande Shri Hayagrivagasthya Samvade Shri Lalita Sahasranama Stotra Kathanam Sampurnam.
इति श्रीब्रह्माण्डपुराणे उत्तरखण्डे श्रीहयग्रीवागस्त्यसंवादे श्रीललितासहस्रनामस्तोत्रकथनं सम्पूर्णम्.
So while I have taught this, technically the last class is going to be on 17th and we will be doing the Samarpanam on that day by chanting few shlokas together when we have our guests also in the session. So let me just quickly, if anyone wants any verse to be repeated, chanting repetition, please indicate the verse number so we can chant it once for revision purpose. That's one. And second thing is, for anything related to the meanings perspective, you can always refer to the script what is given on the course page. Like for example, for every name you have the meaning here apart from what is explained in the class. So you can refer to this. Okay, there have been few newcomers who have joined. For any newcomers, I kindly request you to see there is a recording of the verses and all the classes available on the course page as well as on the YouTube page. So I request those who are new to the class, like joined last week or last 2 weeks or today, I request you to kindly go through the recordings so that you will be able to start from the beginning. And for those who have been attending the classes already and you have been practicing, I request you to continue practicing. And there will be a gap of 2 weeks after the conclusion of the class. Usually a 2 week gap will be there, and we will be having the assessment. So just for the case of clarity, as there have been some mails and questions, I'm just reiterating on the assessment pattern. There are 3 assessments primarily. First, Parayanam assessment. Parayanam means the the judge, whoever is Acharya, whoever is asking, will tell you the verse number. For example, can you chant from verse number 5? So the participant will look at the script and start chanting from verse number 5. This is one. This is Parayanam. Second type of assessment is Smaranam. Smaranam means we have memorized the Sahasranama completely. We do not want to see the book and chant. So we will chant from our memory. So Parayanam assessment is first, second is Smaranam assessment. So in this case, the Acharya will ask, can you please chant from, let us say, Vyomakeshi. So attendee will start, Vyomakeshi Vimanastha Vajrini Vamakeshwari, and continue. They might stop you in between and again ask from a different verse, and you will continue again from there. So usually, typically, both kind of assessments will not last more than 8 to 10 minutes, depending on the number of participants, etc. What is looked at in the assessment? What are the parameters that are looked at is the tune in which you are chanting, which is typically what you have learnt in the class. You can follow the same tune. Consistent tune, even in case if you have your any other tune. So it has to be a consistent tune. Typically, we follow the tune which is taught in the class. And then the Ucharana, which is the spashtata with which we chant the Sahasranama. For example, we should chant the Mahapranas perfectly. If there is a Visarga, we have to chant it correctly. If there is a Upadhmaniya, like Visarga followed with Pa, we have to chant the half Visarga there. The pronunciation rules, which we have practiced, I think we have done 3 rounds of revisions of pronunciation rules as of now. So you could revisit those if you want to brush up. So those are some of the pronunciation aspects which will be looked in the class, looked at when the assessment is happening. So and of course the bhava, like with the devotion, or the bhava with which this is chanted. So these are some of the parameters on which, for both Parayanam and Smaranam, these are the parameters on which assessment is done. Only difference between Parayanam and Smaranam is, Parayanam is you chant seeing the book, Smaranam is you chant without seeing the book. You close your eyes, and in both cases you have to have the video on. This is the one kind of assessment. Then we have a computer-based assessment, a CBT we can call it as, which is to basically, since this particular batch is with meanings, so this will be to know like how it is the how well you have understood the meanings. Like for example, Vyomakeshi. So there could be some 4 meanings given in which you will choose one. So these kind of questions will be there, and this will be from the script what you are seeing. So this will be from, so this particular script what you are seeing on the screen is available for you on Vyoma course page and also on YouTube. So the same thing will be the questions, or the the meanings to be answered will be from the script itself. And it's a computer based, it is not a oral. So you will basically attend that through the online computer based. More inputs, guidelines regarding this you will get very clearly during the mail, that in the mail which you will get about the assessments from the Vyoma support team. So this is about the assessment. So hope it is clear. So this started because there were few newcomers. Okay, 156, Shashidhar Mahodaya, 156 and 157 I will chant. There is a request for 156 and 157. Praneshwari Pranadatri पञ्चाशत् पीठरूपिणी विशृङ्खला विविक्तस्था वीरमाता वियत्प्रसूः मुकुन्दा मुक्तिनिलया मूलविग्रहरूपिणी भावज्ञा भवरोगघ्नी भवचक्रप्रवर्तिनी. I'll quickly try to answer some of the questions. 158 for Varun Mahodaya. छन्दस्सारा शास्त्रसारा मन्त्रसारा तलोदरी उदारकीर्तिरुद्दाम वैभवा वर्णरूपिणी. There is a question regarding the pattern of the written exam. Like I said, it will be a multiple choice question. So you have to choose the correct answer. It is a CBT computer based assessment. Let me, okay. Sharada Ayappan Bhagini is asking about, can we choose either or both, Bhagini? See, you can choose CBT and Parayanam, or you can choose CBT and Smaranam. You cannot choose both Parayanam and Smaranam, you cannot choose. You can choose only Parayanam or Smaranam. But along with that, you can choose CBT also. So, only thing is, it cannot be, I will do both Parayanam and Smaranam. No. So, you can do only one of that. But CBT can be chosen by all. Yeah, Gnaneshwari Bhagini, doubt about the video. Yes. See, as of now, it is the video or audio is disabled for everyone. So that by mistake, if it gets switched on, there will be network issues and disturbances. So on the day of assessment, you will be allowed to switch on your video and audio. And video is absolutely essential for the Parayanam and Smaranam assessments. Bhuvaneshwari Bhagini wants 172, verse number 172. I'll chant that. स्तोत्रप्रिया स्तुतिमती श्रुतिसंस्तुतवैभवा मनस्विनी मानवती महेशी मङ्गलाकृतिः. I'm just quickly checking the questions also parallelly. So if you have joined the course very recently also, if you're following the recordings, there's a question regarding I have joined the course recently, can I still give the exam? The exam date will be, assessment date will be announced. On that day, you can give the assessment. Only thing is, if you are able to follow all the recordings and you are able to give the assessment, you can do it. Kindly do so. Sandhya M.R. Bhagini wants 100 and 101 verse. Anahatabjanilaya Shyama Bhavadhanadvaya Damshtrojjwala Rudhira Samsthita Kalaratriadishaktyaughvrita Snigdhaudanpriya Mahavirendra Varada Rakinyamba Swarupini. There is a question on how to chant without taking a pause. Specifically was for Dhyanam. I will address this first. So, yes, this is a long verse and it is difficult to chant in one breath. You can take a pause after Karuna Tarangitakshim. So, Arunang Karuna Tarangitakshim Dhrutapashankusha Pushpa Bana Chapam Animadibhiravrutam Mayukhaihi. You can take it after Mayukha. There is a sandhi happening here. mayukhair ahamityeva. So you can split this as mayukhaihi and ahamityeva. You can continue. Or if you are able to, you can chant it together. So, animadibhiravrutam mayukhaihi ahamityeva vibhavaye bhavani. So the other one is little tough. अणिमादिभिरावृतां मयूखैरहमित्येव विभावये भवानी. So these are the two different ways. So you can take a pause after mayukhaihi and chant the rest, ahamityeva, the rest of the words. So let us say, for example, let me come to names like what you are seeing on the screen. The screen is visible, right, Ishu?
Yes, Bhagini.
So in these cases, you cannot take a pause in between because it will be like you're splitting the names. I request you to chant it together as far as possible. So, Champaka Shoka Punnaga Saugandhi Kalasatkacha Kuruvindamani Shreni Kanat Kotira Mandita. So the tip here can be that, see, each of us have a speed with which we can chant the line. So it should not be very fast, it should not be very slow. If we chant very slow, it will be difficult for us to hold the breath. If it is very fast, it won't be correct also. So you have to follow that speed and pitch also, the voice at the voice pitch. So with that, you will be able to chant. The second thing is, still sometimes it is difficult to hold the breath and chant this entire line together. It comes out of practice. Please keep trying. Practice. Champaka shoka punnaga saugandhi kalasatkacha. This one speed. Champaka shoka punnaga saugandhi kalasatkacha. So this requires little more practice to that breathing. So you all know that most of our Sanskrit shlokas versus mantras is also a breathing exercise for all of us. So let me just quickly take another question. Verse 107. 107. Somebody would like to chant 107. Mudgaudana sakta chitta sakinyam baswarupini Agnya chakrabja nilaya shukla varna shadanana. Hope this is okay. Prabhakar Nayak Mahodaya wants 169 verse. Savyapasavya margastha sarvapadvinivarini swastha swabhava madhura dhira dhira samarchita. I'll come to 181 again. I'll go back to Dhyana and Shloka 58 as there are a couple of people who wants to address that. So I will do the Dhyana verses again. Sinduraruna vigrahan trinayanam manikya maulisphurat taranayaka shekharam smitamukhi mapinavakshoruham पाणिभ्यामलिपूर्णरत्नचषकम् रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीं सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थरक्तचरणां ध्यायेत् परामम्बिकाम्. So here again, many of you would feel that their continuous chanting is difficult. In that case, you can take a pause after charanam, and we have dha. So the fifth letter of the tavarga, na, will replace the anuswara. So please note down two different ways of chanting here. If I'm taking a pause, Saumyam Ratna Ghatastha Rakta Charanam Dhyayet Paramambikam. If I don't take a pause, Saumyam Ratna Ghatastha Rakta Charanam Dhyayet Paramambikam. So these are two different ways of chanting. So both are correct. In this case again, अरुणाङ्करुणातरङ्गिताक्षीं धृतपाशाङ्कुशपुष्पबाणचापाम् अणिमादिभिरावृतां मयूखैरहमित्येव विभावये भवानी. So if I want, I can pause after Tarangitakshim, or I need not pause, but it's difficult to chant the entire line. So you can take a pause after Karuna Tarangitakshim. And same in the second line, after Mayukhaihi, you can give a Mayukhaihi Visarga and start with Ahamityeva if you are not able to, you can chant continuously. This is easier. Dhyayet Padmasanastham. Can take a pause here. However, if I don't want to take a pause, Dhyayet Padmasanastham Vikasita Vadanam Padmapatrayatakshim Hemabham Pitavastrang Karakalita Lasadhema Padmam Varangim सर्वालङ्कारयुक्तां सततमभयदां भक्तनम्रां भवानीं श्रीविद्यां शान्तमूर्तिं सकलसुरनुतां सर्वसम्पत्प्रदात्रीम्. So this is how we chant. This one, the first line, anyway, we will chant it together. सकुङ्कुमविलेपनामलिकचुम्बिकस्तूरिकाम् समन्दहसिते क्षणां सशरचापपाशाङ्कुशाम् अशेषजनमोहिनीमरुणमाल्यभूषाम्बराम् जपाकुसुमभासुराञ्जपविधौ स्मरेदम्बिकाम्. However, if you find it very difficult, for example, in the first line, Sakunkuma Vilepanam Alika Chumbikasturikam, we can break. Similarly, in the third line, Ashesha Janamohinim Arunamalya Bhushambaram. Then fourth line, Japa Kusuma Bhasuram Japa Vidhau Smaredambikam. So you can take a pause and chant like this. So otherwise in other verses like this, it's very clear. You can take a pause after Udyat Bhanu Sahasrabha. You can take a pause after Raga Swarupa Pashadhya. So it's very clear in these verses. So I think we have 101 and 159 I chanted. Number of questions and all, you will get all the details. Please do not mind. So 58th was somebody, Ramaswamy Meenakshi Sundaram Mahodaya. 58th was, I'll chant. Yeah, this is little tough. This is little tough because there's a lot of sha in this, right? Sha as in Shanmukha. Chatushashtyupacha. Let me just chant again with the raga. चतुष्षष्ट्युपचाराढ्या चतुष्षष्टिकलामयी महाचतुष्षष्टिकोटियोगिनी गणसेविता. So first line you can take a pause after ya, that is चतुष्षष्ट्युपचाराढ्या चतुष्षष्टिकलामयी. Second line together. Mahachatushashti-koti-yogini Ganasevita. Please note here Sha and Sha. Mahachatushashti-koti-yogini Ganasevita. Hope this is clear. I think I've tried to address as much as possible. Nyasa. Okay, we will do the Nyasa once. So Nyasa to be chanted when we are chanting the entire Sahasranama. Since we are learning now, I am chanting this. So generally we do a Guru Vandanam, either Guru Reva Gatihi or Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha, Sadguru Pahi, Paramadayalo Pahi, whatever Guru Vandanam. Then we start with the Nyasa. So, Om Asya Shri Lalita Sahasranama Stotramala Maha Mantrasya Vashinyadi Vagdevata Rishayah अनुष्टुप् छन्दः श्रीललिता परमेश्वरी देवता श्रीमद्वाग्भवकूटेति बीजम् मध्यकूटेति शक्तिः शक्तिकूटेति कीलकम् मूलप्रकृतिरिति ध्यानम् ॐ मम श्रीललिता महात्रिपुरसुन्दरी प्रसादसिद्धिद्वारा चिन्तितफलावाप्त्यर्थे जपे विनियोगः. So this is Nyasa. Now let me go to the verse 181, which was requested by somebody. अभ्यासातिशयज्ञाता षडध्वातीतरूपिणी अव्याजकरुणामूर्तिरज्ञानध्वान्तदीपिका. So this is 181. So I'll stop here today. For any further questions, please feel free to write to me on my email ID. And if required, after the valedictory session also, if any of you feel that you need any practice class, we can organize one before the assessment. So please do not worry about it. Let us do the Mangalam for today. सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके देवी नारायणि नमोऽस्तु ते. Pranams to everyone. Look forward to see you all in the next two classes. Ram Ram Ram. Punarmilamaha.